Live. Okay. Okay. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. My good name is Womboy. Thank you so much for being here. So you're gonna wait for you guys to join in. If you're watching this back, if you're watching this back, thank you so much. If you're watching this live, I don't think you guys have joined it. Oh my god, this is my first time starting the live stream this late, like 10:06. It's 10:06. Wow. Yeah. But I believe some countries, some places, you guys are still up, okay? Chim Foxes, what's up? Oh my god, you guys were waiting for me. How are you doing? Good to see you again. Lynn Hendrick says, hi, Gally. Hi to you. Oh my god, I have missed you guys, especially today because I didn't stream the usual time. I was getting burnt out, and you know me, I'll take a break when I need to. Okay, how are you guys doing? What's the temperatures? Did the heat wave pass, Aline? Did the heat wave pass? What's going on? It's too hot, please save me. Okay, see, and we are wearing jackets here. It's so cold. It's so cold. So cold, my friends. Oh god. I wish I could save you guys. Maybe you guys should be coming for vacation in okay, not in Africa because parts of Africa are hot. Maybe you guys should be coming towards my direction when it's hot out there. Okay, guys, welcome to the live stream. When you join in, like the live stream and subscribe. Today, also, we do have a bunch of questions as usual. But in the meantime, let's start with saying hello. Uh, yes, yes, yes. Okay, we're gonna be doing a bunch of questions as usual. My good name is Omboy. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know where you're watching me from. I'm streaming live from Kenya. Kenya is in Africa. Kenya is an African country. So that's what we are doing. Let me know how was your day. What did you do today? Uh, Moisa says, could you make a gaming channel? Honestly, I can recommend to you a gaming channel, but the person does not post oftenly. Okay, maybe I could, but I'm not a gamer. But my fiance is really a gamer. I don't know if he would be interested in like sharing that. uh Chimothy Kinoti says, I am assuming you're saying hi. Thank you so much for tuning in. So keep saying hi, guys. We're just getting started. Let me know where you're watching me from. My good name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, let's jump into the questions. Let's start with the warming up. Warming up. Pizza or burger? This is for the American people because I think we are not, here in Kenya, we are not so much into fast food. Pizza or burger? Pizza or burger? Pizza or burger? Let me see. Personally, burger anytime. I don't like pizza. I don't like pizza. Pizza or burger. And guys, we're just warming up before you guys join in. Thank you so much for being here. Da, 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 da. Oh, Chimothy Kinoti, you said Sasa. My laptop and my phone translate, so most of the time. Okay, pizza or burger. And I hope I'm still streaming. I've been having problems with my internet. Um, Pizza or burger. Are you at work tomorrow? Am I at work tomorrow? No. No, yes, yes, I am. I am at work tomorrow, streaming. Now, see, these days I sleep at 2 a.m. and then I wake up at like 10. So, yeah, like the other day I was streaming until, I think until later on. Okay, Chim says, I'm driving right now, so I can't really focus, but I'm answering on my own. Okay, okay. Why? Stay safe, stay safe, stay safe, stay safe. When you get where you're going, you're gonna comment. Okay. So pizza or burger? Uh, my answer is burger because I don't like pizza. I only like the toppings. Okay, okay. I'll be right here. Thank you guys for liking. You know, we can't start the live stream because it translates. Yeah, it translates, so which means I would prefer you if you guys typed in English, because at the end of the day you'll just feel like I am ignoring a language that I understand. Because see, the reason why you use English is because like you're able to reach more people. Okay, pizza. Why pizza? I think for my American people, I know you guys, you're having a hard time choosing pizza or burger. Which one will I say? Okay, let me grab some water here, because you know guys, we're about to get, and see, your girl is not late. I have a bunch of questions, so you better get yourself a cup of water. Let's just have a conversation, and also you guys, you can ask me any question, but let me be right back. Are you Kenyan? Yes, I am Kenyan. Are you Kenyan? I am Kenyan, guys. uh Guys, welcome. Akinyi Fox, you can retype your message. So you're kind of like, I went to use the bathroom. Okay. Pizza or burger? Okay, I think you are done with that one. Most of you don't eat pizza. That's the conclusion. Next one. Comedy or horror? And guys who are joining in, my good name is Wambui. Let me know where you're watching me from. What you guys are watching. I'm in Kenya. I'm streaming from Kenya, and right now it's 10:16 p.m. and it's 64 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's pretty much cold. I think you would consider it to be cold out here right now. Okay. Divan, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining in. Hey, do you remember me? I don't know if this might be convenient to you, but it's my birthday today. Well, I love your live stream and I love giving my opinions, but the question you ask, okay. Oh, happy birthday to you. Maybe I should sing happy birthday. Hey, princess, good to see you. Charles Seymour, welcome back. Okay, comedy or horror? Okay, the question, these are just questions to warm up before we get into the real questions, okay? Happy birthday, Divan Shishamam. Okay, I've always had a problem with pronouncing your name. Happy birthday to you. How old are you turning? How old are you turning? I think you guys are getting old. Okay, let me start typing the serious questions. I think pretty much 10 minutes is a good place to start. Salads. Salads. Instead of pizza or burger, you go with salads. Interesting. Thank you. I'm 18 now. Welcome to adulthood. You've always struck me as someone who is much older. Like the way you comment, you know. If you had one day left to live, what would you do first? Means a lot. Okay. Okay. Oh, Lord. Happy birthday to you and welcome to adulthood. Repent your sins. Why repent your sins? If you had one day left to live, what would you do? If I had one day left to live, what would I do? God. Repent your sins. That's pretty much, especially for believers. Yeah, repent your sins. If I had one day left to live, what would I do? Just sit without worrying about tomorrow. I think that's what I would do. I don't want to go to hell, right? Yeah, you do not. Okay, I think what I would do is just sit down in the... Okay, if I only had one day to live, first of all, I would blow all the money that I have and stop thinking about tomorrow and just live for that specific day. What would you guys do? If you only had one day to live, what would you do? You can pretty much tell me where you're watching me from, what's the temperatures, where you are at, you know, all the nice things. Yeah, I think if I had one day left to Avkini Fox says, praise God. Devon says, if I had one day to live, I would make it the happiest day of my life. Like eat my favorite dishes because food holds comfort, be with loved ones, thank for this life, spend all the money, and if I have to... Okay, yeah, I think those are pretty much the things, especially spending all the money that, you know, we spend most of our lives thinking about tomorrow. Okay, for example, even the things that you're doing, reporting to work every day. Why do you report to work every day? Because you know you're gonna be here you know, even tomorrow you're gonna be here and you'll have needs. So at least for a moment, not think about that. And guys, like the live stream if you're enjoying the content. Like the live stream. If you, okay, let me pin the question. If you had only one day left, what would you do? Probably travel. Okay, that would be a nice one. Also travel, like travel. Oh God, I wish money was never a problem. Traveling, on the bucket list. Sarah Mwangi says, hi, good to see you. How are you doing? If you had one day left to live, what would you do? Yeah, if I had only one day left to live, first of all, like all the worries, everything on the bucket list would be gone. I'll just be living for that specific day. But the problem is, like, you blow all the money and then you wake up tomorrow, you're still here. You've blown your life and all of that. Okay, next question. What is your favorite place to escape to? Do gymnastics. Okay, that's a nice one. Guys, like the live stream and subscribe. What is your favorite place to escape to? Divan says, I would play GTA 6 if it's out by that time. Oh, it's a game? Okay. I'm even getting tempted to start streaming games. Seems like you guys would enjoy that, but I'm kidding. Like, I am not a gamer in any level, shape, or form. So committing myself to like giving people content about gaming, eh. What is your favorite place to escape to? Oh, favorite place to escape to? To a farm? Yeah, honestly, like, I don't know if anybody escapes to the city. Me personally, I always escape away from the city. Like, sometimes I just feel, I'm just feeling overwhelmed, and then I just go in a place where it's like a village. And all of a sudden, everything is fine. And speaking of that, city or village? What's your favorite place to escape to? That's the question we are looking at. Okay. Charles says, my favorite place to escape to is the Atlantis. Oh my God, I am Kenyan, guys. Atlantis Resort. Where is that person that said that I'm very good at English? Look at me struggling here. My favorite place to escape to is to the Atlantis Resort Aquarium, where you can sit down and watch sharks. Oh, that seems like it would be a nice place to go to. Okay, where is it located? Uhamombi, welcome back, sis, to the farm. Which farm? Okay, and why to the farm? Hamzan Khan says, good morning, good night, good evening. Yeah, good morning, good night, good evening to everybody, because we have all time zones. For example, right now it's nighttime here in Kenya. I know in United States it's daytime. For people in Australia, it's in the middle of the night. Oh, Divan says, favorite place to escape to is being one with nature, honestly, because nature gives peace. We can be ourselves without pretending like our inner child comes out. You can run as much as you want freely. Okay, and speaking of that, that makes me wonder, like, are cities overrated? Because everybody is talking about disappearing and going to the farm, going to nature, and everybody wants to stay in the city. Like, are the cities overrated, or why are we even in the cities? You know, that's a question that I asked myself several times. Hamzan says, you look beautiful today, thank you. Like he says, do contortion at a gym. Okay, Charles says, at least one of my favorite places, it's in the Bahamas. Ooh, the Bahamas. Wow. Tanuma Tanuma Kwana says, I am in Kenya. Okay, that's nice. Guys, like the live stream and subscribe. What is your favorite place to escape to? Um, the village. The village. Which country? Kenya. The village. That's interesting because that's exactly my answer. Because I feel like in the village, you just wake up a breath of fresh air, especially if you have a comfortable home in the village. You know, the problem is, because I asked the questions, are cities overrated? Do you think cities are overrated? Let me type that question. Oh God. Divan says city life is full of materialism, which is not true happiness. It is short-term happiness. Long-term happiness is non-materialistic. Yeah, that's something that I've realized. You know, growing up in the village, I don't like the way this thing is covering my face. Ugh. Okay. You know, growing when because I grew up in the village, and every other time I honestly wanted to escape. Okay, I couldn't wait to grow up and escape the farm, go and start a life in the city. That was have always been my dream. Okay, and then I got to the city, then I'm like, God, is this what we were chasing? Because honestly, in our farm, we pretty much can exist with no money. Literally, we honestly can literally exist with no money. But see, in the city, it's like you're buying everything. So I kind of the capital, like you're living a capitalist life without money, you can survive. BSF says I'm from Tanzania. Tanzanians in the building. Charles says, one little dangerous chain of islands in the Atlantic Ocean. Oh, okay. Akin says yes. Okay. Do you think cities are overrated? When you say cities are overrated, let me know why. If I have a job, okay, if you have a job in the city, that's okay. But do you know most people right now, especially let me talk about Kenya, most people have moved to the cities with no jobs, just survival, hustle. Okay. Chances a large volume of people is extremely disgusting, respectfully and dangerous. Very much, like especially like here, for example, look at Nairobi. Very much congested. Oh my God, you're just walking, it's like you're stepping on somebody's mouth. Oh God. And it's like, honestly, I'm like, why are we even here? Like, why are we all fighting? You know, we live our beautiful country life, you know, and then we just come and accumulate ourselves in this place that is disgusting and annoying, you know, smelly. My favorite spot to escape to is the moon, where it's silent and chill. Wow, can you do that? Can you do that? Or is that a place that's called like that? Diva says, all right, I'll get going now. It's getting late. Thank you. I enjoy. Okay. That's okay. Okay, do you think cities are overrated, guys? Do you think cities, honestly, in my opinion, I think they are. Although we cannot sit here and act like there's no opportunities in the city. Like, we can sit here and act like there's the same opportunities in the village. There's really not. But I feel like for those people, especially during your retirement, would anybody want to retire in the city, like that type of chaos? And I feel like city and suburban are two different things. No, literally mean the moon. Wow. Wow. How can you be able to do that? But it's not like I'm an astronaut. Okay, how are you able to do that? Okay, I was just saying that you know, it's one thing. Okay, maybe suburbs where you're in your own home is another thing. You even have a backyard. But see, like how I live right here, it's like an apartment. When I get outside the door, there's somebody else right there. You know what I'm saying? So do you guys think cities are overrated? Because honestly, my answer is yes. It's too expensive. It's too expensive, okay? Alexander. Ooh, Alexander, cities is excellent. Why? Okay, but do you mean cities when you are living in apartments, or when when you are okay, you live in the city but it's like a suburban thing going on and you have your own house? Because I kind of feel like when you are renting, you have no power whatsoever. Maybe that's my personal insecurity. But I feel like I feel like I was chasing something that wasn't really what I was looking for. I was chasing for this life in the city. I all I ever wanted in my whole life is like to get out of the village. And when I finally did, I've always been trying to get back, because it's not easy, especially after you've experienced the modern conveniences in the city, especially in African countries. So when you experience that, so how do you go back to not having the modern conveniences? Alexander says you can have a place of work, a place of business, and a place of entertainment in the city, which you cannot have in the village. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you yeah, I think you brought up a very good point. The thing is, uh people who move to the village want to show us as if like there's everything that they need, but the thing is, to move back to the village, you kind of have to downsize on many things. You have to compromise on many things. When you want to just buy something from the supermarket right there, you really cannot, because there's none. Maybe you have to travel a few miles to get to that. Yeah, so I can see that. And welcome back, Alexander. How have you been? Mombi Kazapua. Oh my god, you guys have complicated names. I have a driver's license, finished high school, hadn't gone university, but still survival sometimes is a hassle. Okay, especially in the city. But what if you stay in the village and you just decide to do? But I think it's easier said than done. But or maybe it's just pretty in pictures. I usually sit here and then I watch these videos of people moving to a village and then building a tiny house. And it's all glamorous in the pictures. It's the same thing with like people who move to other countries, okay? When you look at it, it's glamorous in the picture, but the reality is not all that, like, it's not all that interesting. Akin says, I'm in America now. Okay, yeah. Okay, how do you like it? And how would you compare it with Kenyan life? Chimpoku says nothing is perfect after all. That's where balancing between both is the actual answer. Balancing between both. Alexander says the village life is just too boring. This, to be honest, the city is where everywhere is happening, especially when you're in your 20s. Okay, yeah. Because otherwise you just have to go and live this village life. Yeah, okay, especially when you're in your 20s. You want, honestly, like right now, because of course I'm usually streaming, not to mention where I am right now, I don't even have friends in real life. Okay, I just don't know. But maybe after I finish building this dream, or like finish my project, the project that I'm doing right now, uh, so the thing is, if you're not clubbing, you're not out there all the time. But because you guys always see me here at night, so there's no way I'm all out there having fun, okay? So the question is, if you're not out there doing all the fun things, maybe you can thrive well in the village. uh Chimp Monk says, oh sorry, I meant to say why not, where. Okay, let me go back to your message. Nothing is perfect after all. Okay, I think I read it the right way. Bishar Abdullah, hi. The ISS I don't know what that is. Charles says, also in the city, there is no real sense of ownership, and well, just corporate gangsters, taxes, abuse, and the tyranny and senseless oppression from police, the economy, and law enforcement. Yeah, see, the thing is, and there's a video that I made, you guys should check out that video. It's about what it's like growing up in a dysfunctional family in an African household, whatever. So that's what the video is about. And most people who grew up in dysfunctional houses, or maybe in abusive environment, you really want the sense of ownership, don't you? Like, you want to know that you own something, okay? living in the city in rented apartments does not provide that, because you're just there paying rent, but do you really own the place? No. Which maybe I feel like that's what you're talking to. Okay, Alexander says, so what's this future life consist of? I don't know. I don't know what it consists of, but it consists of me being happy. Kazapo says, in the village where I'm free from, we hunt for our own food. It's fun, sort of, kind of live for free, do for a while. Okay, but see, the same thing goes. If you have the money to like keep that lifestyle going, then it's a good one. It's a good one. But if you want to be near the services, maybe the city is what it is. Okay, next question. And guys, you can also ask me questions. First of all, how is summer, guys? I hope you guys are staying safe with the heat wave. So being happy is a mindset or a choice, not material things. Oh, being happy is a mindset, is a choice, not material. So did you say being happy is a choice? Because you said choice or a mind. Oh, it's a mindset. Maybe it's a mindset. God. But I feel like I feel like you would only say that because you don't think like me. How I think, like, okay, I get happy. You all know that I think I am usually happy most of the time. Being happy is the mindset. Choice also a mindset. Okay, yeah, it could be a mindset, but for example, for me, I think the sense of like owning a place, and that's something that you get from a village, and that's what it is. Peter says, okay, you know what? Yeah, people like you, you don't know the difference between love and lust. Peter says, you don't love her, grow up. Okay, next one. Okay, let's see what's the next one. What would you do differently if you weren't afraid of being judged? What would you do differently if you weren't afraid of being judged? Alexander says, I don't want to brag, but I own 3 apartments in the house. In the expenses are very high, so think about what you want in life. Oh, the expenses of owning the houses. Okay, you know what? That's not bragging. Let me tell you, I don't know why people think that like people saying what they have is bragging. I don't think it's bragging. I think it's just what you have. Okay, somebody had said that like it's expensive to own something, but maybe is in the US. Okay, see, out here, like, only okay, but when it comes to things breaking, that's another topic. Everything breaks and you have to repair. Maybe in the US, maybe it's expensive to own a property, but here in Kenya, it's cheap. When you build a house, or you have a house, or you buy a house, that's the best thing you can ever do for yourself. And a house. Oh wow, interesting. Congratulations. Nefista says Peter doesn't know the difference between love and lust. So true. Very well said. How are you doing, Nefista? I saw you on my videos. Thank you so much for watching. Tim Fong says, I would maybe stand up for corruption or something. I don't know. What would you do differently if you weren't afraid of being judged? What people will get angry with you saying you have something they don't have. Okay, I know, but that's just jealousy. I feel like this creator, this girl, let me tell you, during a time when I had just graduated, and I like giving my stories, okay? During a time that I had just graduated from university, and I was just back. No, I went to the city, and then for some reason I just went to the village. Just for some reason I went and stayed in the village, and I was watching her, and I was relating to her 100%. Like she was making sense to me. I was watching her every day, her theories, what she thinks about women, what she thinks about men, everything. I used to watch her every day, okay? And then, of course, when she started out, she was just desperate and all of that and all of that. But somewhere along the way, I think she had a master's or something. So she was pretty much educated. She got a job and she started bringing us on a journey to see that. People just stopped watching her for some reason. Like, I feel like people just want to see you when you're struggling. People just want to see you when you're sinking, when you're not doing good. And then they can say, like, you know what? At least I'm doing better than you are. Exactly. Taxes is put some of us under extreme stress and depression. Okay. Yeah, here you can pretty much escape. Maybe you'll get caught, but I feel like, yeah, that's something that I feel maybe taxes is what you would talk about. Alexander says, for me, can your lifestyle is very cheap, but that's coming from America with a salary from America. Okay, I know. But the other day I was talking about somebody asked how much is the minimum wage here in Kenya, and I said for those people making good money is like $300, between $300 and 400 for those who are making good money, okay? But you have to consider how much we are paying for the things. For example, how much we are paying for rent, how much we are paying for this and that. So yeah, Elizabeth, you don't have anything else to do. So if I suck, just keep walking. Keep walking. You're not forced to watch my thing, my friend. Okay? Alexander says, Kenya lifestyle. Yeah, it's pretty much... Okay, you know what? Like, honestly, that doesn't faze me. I get people saying stuff like that all the time. But the thing is, if something is not for you, let's say you like watching what do you like watching? Pranks. Go and watch pranks. If people, I feel like people who like my channel like having conversations or like feeling hard because I read everybody's comments. So I don't care about you. Susan says hi. Okay, but if you guys were not paying taxes in the US, I feel like that would be pretty much nice. Like with the amount of money that you guys are making, if you didn't have to pay taxes on everything, on the properties that you own and all of those things, maybe that would be nice because I feel like there's more opportunities in the US. Eve Stuart says, I'm back again to restored. Okay, how are you doing? I mean, the last question was, what would you do? I guess you haven't answered this question. What would you do differently if you weren't afraid of being judged? Send some Kenyan coffee to me. I could. I could. Maybe I could even start a coffee business and I start mailing it to you guys. Okay, but Kenyan coffee and also Kenyan tea is really nice. Alexander says 650,000 Kenya shillings is mortgage, food and utilities here in America. Okay, per month? That's pretty much expensive. 650,000, I can survive with that money for 2 years. Especially if I'm not traveling around. Yeah. My place. Okay, that's money that I can survive with for a very long time. But you guys have to also understand, even the jobs also pay very little. So you see the difference. Yeah, I see and that's why you have to get paid more, right? Eve says, I bought my house in Seattle for $300,000 10 years ago, worth 1 million now. Oh wow, if you were to sell, wow. But how much did you put down, if you don't mind? Things are crazy here. Ooh. And I mean, the part that I don't understand is, like, I bought a property and I still have to pay taxes on it. Like, How much is too much? I just feel like your government takes so much away from you. But you guys also get the tax returns. Like, they return the money to you that you paid extra sometimes. Jim says, um, the thing is, without taxes, some people can get paid for. Oh, without taxes, some people can't get paid for their jobs. That makes sense. Also, maybe the roads. But see, that's the difference between third world country and first world country. Okay, see, for us, maybe we don't pay so many taxes, but see, look at our roads. Okay, look at our schools, look at our hospital. The other day I went to the hospital, a public hospital, and I had to buy almost 100% of the medicine. Okay, and it was pretty much something that I needed to buy. Like, I honestly needed to work on it, and I had to buy. And one, okay, maybe it's not so much when you convert it to US dollars, but you have to consider, like, that's expensive to me because of the amount of money that I have, or what I have, you know. The thing, Richard, welcome back. It's 3:45 p.m. by in Northeast Ohio, and I'm still at work until 5. Just wanted to say hi, okay? Hi to you. Thank you for jumping in. Enjoy your work. Alexander Ryan says, true, so it's better for a man from America to move to a place like Kenya and marry in Kenya because his money goes further. And then, so does it make sense? Because even if you marry in Kenya, will you guys stay in Kenya? No, you will stay in the US. Or what do you mean when it comes to maybe taking her for dates and stuff? Eustace says corruption in the US is low. It still exists, but it's low. Yeah, I know. I wish, we had that type of thing. No, okay, no, stay in Kenya, okay? But I feel like you should give your lady also a chance to experience your side of the world before you guys settle in Kenya. Sarah says, are you feeling better? Oh, God, I am. I am feeling better. Oh, God. Yeah, I was going through so much. And honestly, I kept streaming through it. When I was sick, I just kept streaming. The truth is, you never know what people are going through in real life. Alexander says, corruption in the US is worse than Africa. What is he talking about? Really? But do you know corruption in Kenya, my friend? If you don't have money, you can't have a job. Okay? For example, like me, I was looking for jobs, and then I just got tired. I just got tired. Because if it's like, what are you offering? Who do you know? Matthew Aura says hi. Hi, Matthew. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Let me know what's your opinion when it comes to the cost of living. I think that's what you're talking about. Eve says, so a lot of US men move somewhere else. No, not even close. Okay. Yes. No, it's not true. Corruption is in every country. But I feel like, in Kenya, it's corruption for every little thing. When it comes to traffic police officers, I feel like traffic police do work in the US. When it comes to Kenya, traffic police, oh God, handouts, 50 shillings, like you give them money, they let you go. Okay, you give them money, you're carrying human beings in your car and it doesn't have brakes, you give them money, they let you go. But when I look at what you guys have in the US, it's like there's something that it's a strict thing that's going on. Michael Casale says, Womboy, start exploring doing stories for kids, writing kids storybooks too. Why would I do that? Chimwak says, whoa, corruption is bad. Very bad. I said corruption exists in the US, but still low. I like corrupt police officer. Oh, wow. Why? But still, it's very dangerous. That's why you see, like, people losing lives on the road. If they were to get very strict and have everybody obey the rules, we wouldn't be, don't speed, don't do this, don't do that. Yeah, if you can't, and also the problem is, if you decide that you're not giving them money, they're gonna look for a problem. Okay, and guys, there's a question on the screen. Although, if you guys want us to talk about the cost of living, that's perfectly fine. You can also ask me questions, or maybe tell me a fun fact about the US, about Europe, wherever you're watching me from. So what would you do differently if you weren't afraid of being judged? What would I do differently if I wasn't afraid of being judged? Oh God, a lot of things. Uh, what would I do differently? Not, I think I wouldn't care. You know, I feel like there's that part of me that says that I don't care. But if I wasn't afraid of being judged, I wouldn't really care. Right now, I do things, I kind of like tread on steep whatever. Eve says, police are notorious for violating rights of the Constitution. Okay, they really are. They really are. And I know corrupt. Alexander says, corrupt police officer helped me get into the state house to take pictures 4 years ago. Oh wow! In Kenya, to meet President Kibaki. Really? Wow, interesting. Isn't that a public building? And see, that's what's wrong. For us, the regular people who don't have money to give to corrupt police officers, we don't get access to such places. Okay, we don't get access to such things. Okay, I feel like it's pretty much bad. It's nice until you need a job and you don't have money to give to them. Yeah, then you're never gonna get a job. Yeah, I feel like it's pretty much bad. Okay, guys, welcome to the live stream. Let me know where you're watching me from. You can ask me anything and everything right here on I Am Wambui. Thomas, oh my god, I think I haven't had, okay, or you haven't joined the live streams in a few days. Now I know you guys I feel like I know you guys in person. Like I know everybody and where, I feel like I know everybody and where they're from. Hi dear Wambui, halftime in Norway versus France. Let me take a guess without looking. Norway versus France. Which one would I go with? France. I actually don't know what the current topic is. Corruption. I don't. I also don't know what the current topic is. I think that the conversation just we are talking about corruption in Kenya versus in the US. Also, we are talking about the cost of living in Kenya versus in the US. People are talking about the taxes and stuff like that. I think that's where the conversation is at. But let me ask you this question: do you think corruption? I feel like you've been in Kenya. Do you feel like corruption in Kenya is lower than in the US or more than in the US, or maybe even in Europe or like in Germany? I met them at Hilton Hotel, downtown Nairobi. Okay, I know the Hiltons. Jimmy Iroma says, nice looks. Thank you. Welcome here. Eustace says, isn't France favored for the World Cup? Okay, but you know what? Okay, and call me ignorant, but ask me why. Like, okay, tell me why. Almost everybody in the French team is black. Okay, and I know all of the other things, but like, wow. What surprised me so much is when I saw Switzerland with a bunch of black players. Not in a bad way, though. Not in a bad way. Team USA is doing well. Okay, I could retire to Kenya looking at Central America. Also, I feel like Central America is South America. Central America is, which parts is Central America? Because I feel like South America is pretty much cheap, almost like African countries, maybe. Alexander says, the corruption is worse in America because our president would dangle money to a smaller country to take advantage. That's corruption. Okay. China doesn't do that. China doesn't do that. Like, what do you mean? As well, Alexander says all the French players being black is corruption. But see, you can't blame them because maybe you can talk about the history of how black people got to such places. But see, most of these players, you even see them playing for African countries, like they are literally African, from Senegal, Panama, Belize, Guatemala. Oh, I hear those places are pretty much cheap. Yeah. And I feel like the trick is you save in the USD and then you go spend in that currency. You're gonna live a good life. Whoa, you have Griezmann. What's that? I don't know what's that. You know, I don't like pretending like I know stuff. Chim says, and more, but I can't think right now. Okay. Eve says, how many children you plan to have, one boy? Nah, none. I don't plan to have any. How many do you plan to have? Nefista says, greetings from Germany. I live in an apartment owned by a cooperative and I own shares of the cooperative. So it's kind of owned, but without being alone with responsibilities. Wow, that's pretty much nice. Is that even an option? Staying in a place that you own corporation. Wow, that's pretty much nice. Okay, how would you compare? How would you say about the cost of living in Germany? But it's corruption. It's just what African women doesn't plan on having a family. Unheard of. Why? Okay, is it unheard of for African people, for an African woman not to have children? So pretty much, I feel like you kind of need an introduction, because I think that's something that everybody knows here, that I don't want children. Okay, but maybe this is for obvious reasons. Okay, Germany is awesome. My great grandfather is German. Okay, that's nice. Mark, hello, Mark. I wish I could go back. Chipmunk says Germany is a tax haven like half of Europe. Okay. Yeah. But I feel like for you to thrive in Germany, you have to know the language. Like, you kind of have to know the language. Maybe right now more German people are learning English, but can't be in. Interesting. Okay. Okay, what would you do differently if you weren't afraid of being judged? They love paperwork in Germany. Okay. Interesting. Okay, but you know what? Going back to what you said, an African woman doesn't plan on having family. I don't think that's unheard. Okay, it's kind of unheard of. I feel like for the first time in so many years, African women are getting to have options, or even to have a choice in their own body, in like whatever they do with it. Nefista says, I live in one of the cheapest parts of Germany. My shares of the cooperative are at 1,500 euros. My rent is 280 euros per month, but that's exceptionally low for Germany. Oh, 280 euros. Do you know I feel like that's my cost of living for the whole month. Jeez, Essen. Okay, true about the paperwork. Okay, wow. That's nice. Yeah, but I think I kind of have to remind myself, when it comes to the cost of living in these countries, is because of the amount of money that people are making, or what people are willing to take. Chimp says, children are the happiness of this life. Really? Okay, why? Yeah, children are the happiness of this. Okay, honestly, don't get me wrong, I love children. Okay, I love children to bits. First of all, like, I have I don't know if it's a niece or a nephew. I think a niece. Okay, she's a girl. I really like her. Oh, I really like them. God, I forgot the other one. I really like them. Okay, but see, the thing is, uh especially, my story. I think I can't talk about this without sharing my story. Of course, I didn't grow up feeling so much safe as a child. Didn't grow up with most of the conveniences that, honestly, the first time I watched a cartoon was as an adult. Okay, what else would you consider? Like, most of the things, having television, growing up, especially when you were little, there was no even television, so it was pretty much a hard life. So I just don't want to pass down, what is it called, struggle and poverty to the next generation. If sources, my family settled in Holland, Michigan. I live in Seattle now. Okay, you kind of moved away. Essen is a city too. Chimpa. Okay, there's a church. I live near a church. I live near a church here. Oh my God, I can hear them praying. I don't know. I'm not against like religion or whatever, or even people pray, but I just feel like when you have a church near where people live, and then in the middle of the night you're just there. Oh God, it's pretty much annoying. What kind of local chocolate exists where you are in Kenya? Ooh, I think uh we have Lunch Bar, we have Kit Kat, we have Cadbury, I think I have a bunch of them right there. Let me check. Let me check the names. See, like there's this one is called Twix, this one is called Rolana, and then there's Kit Kat. Throw in each throw it throw it in the package with the coffee and send it to me. I wish I could, but I think I don't think it would be worth it, especially if you only want one tea or one bag of one bag. If you only want one bag of coffee, it wouldn't be worth it because they would be charging international mailing. So I feel like it's just cheap to buy there. uh Chimp Monk says, you see your kids grow to become responsible people and see their success, but also people that are not parents will never understand the happiness of having kids. You see kids grow to become responsible people and see their success, but also people that are not parents will never understand the happiness of having kids. Okay, but how about being a kid that never got the happiness of being a kid? Are you considering that? Like, for somebody to even make the decision and be like, okay, you know what, I don't want children, to even have that thought. Can you imagine what that person might have gone through? And I know everybody says you have to get over the things that you've been through in life, you have to keep moving, you have to keep walking, but I'm just saying it's not easy. It's not easy. First of all, if I'm going to repeat the cycle, if I'm going to bring somebody to go through the same things, why would I want that for somebody? Chimp Max says, do a chocolate giveaway. Honestly, I don't have a lot of them. This one is my fiance bought them for me. I have only like 5, and I've not been eating them because I like my teeth, so I kind of go easy on them. Most probably I'm going to give them to my niece. Bravin says, hi, good to see you, welcome to the live stream, how are you doing? And you guys are not answering the question on this. What would you do differently if you aren't afraid of being judged? But I kind of like when you guys determine where the conversation goes. Let me put this back. God, I hope you guys come back. Oh my God, hope you guys come back. Not now, no. Hope you guys. Oh God, I hope you guys come back. Out here, what we normally do. Are you guys back? When you come back, let me know you're back. What happened is you have to pay. How we use electricity, you have to pay before you use. Okay, so, and I had thought about paying before because I had just taken a hot shower. When you take a hot shower, it literally uses a lot of points. So I was thinking I should pay before I start streaming, and then I didn't. No. Hope you guys are back. Okay. Wow, are you guys back? When you come back, let me know. What happened is we usually pay for electricity before using. So I ran out of tokens. I had to go outside to pay. Oh my god, I am so sorry, guys. You know, I think I should be checking before I start streaming. Ah, hopefully you guys will be back. Oh god, hope all of you come back. I'm back, prepaid electricity. Yeah, that's what we use. Thank you for coming back. Okay, let me wait and see if everybody will come back. I just feel so bad. Just chat disconnected. Please wait. Do you eat ugali? Okay. Wow, you guys are really good. Oh god, come back, guys. Okay, when you come back, let me know you're back so that you can continue with the conversation. What happened is I used prepaid electricity and I ran out of tokens. So that's what happened. Lost connection. Hello, Chilla. Don't leave me. No. Oh. Charles said, why would you care about the judgment if you are personally sure you are innocent of inflicting harm and death? Woo. Because all judgments aren't the same. People are different and come to different conclusions. Yeah. I'm back. Thank you. Nefisa says, I don't think you need to feel bad. It happens. Yeah, but see, the thing is, so that you can get the people back, is really, maybe most of them don't think I'm gonna come back, you know. But anyway, gonna continue with the conversation. Uh-huh. The other question, when you were, I know, yeah, it's frustrating, very frustrating. When you come back, let me know you're back. I use prepaid electricity and I just ran out of it, so I had to go out and pay. So you know, when you lose, when you're using Wi-Fi, when you lose electricity, the Wi-Fi disconnects and your phone disconnects. So that's what happened. Okay, when you were younger, what did you think you're going to be when you grow up? Let me type the question. I think I pretty much ran outside. I'm even feeling hot and it's so cold here. Okay, wait. Okay, enter. Oh God, now I honestly I don't know. I want all the people to come back. When you were younger, what did you think? When you were younger, what did you think you're going to be when you grow up? Okay. Oh God, personally, when I was young, I thought that I was going to be a doctor. I used to write compositions saying I want to be an officer doctor when I grow up. And I remember my English teacher, especially in primary school, what you guys call elementary school, uh, he used to always underline the officer, like you cannot be an officer doctor, you can only be a doctor. But I kept saying that I wanted to be an officer doctor. I kind of felt like I didn't know that nurse and doctor are different things. Okay, especially when I was very young. So I thought I want to be the doctor that does everything all around and commands other doctors. So that's what I wanted to be. Do you know Swahili? Yeah, I know Swahili. Why? Why are you asking? When you were younger, what did you think you were going to be when you grow up? I wanted to be a doctor when I grow up. Why did he say you couldn't be a doctor? Not that he didn't say that I couldn't be a doctor, but I used to write. Let's say you're given a composition to describe what you want to be when you grow up. I used to write, I want to be an officer doctor. Okay. Oh, you're back. I thought I was going to be a fight. You're back, Eve. Oh my god. I thought I lost you guys. That's okay. So Nefista says, why did he say you couldn't be a doctor? Because I always wrote that I wanted to be an officer doctor. I wanted to be an officer doctor. And then he was just trying to tell me that I can only be a doctor, not an officer doctor. I always wrote that I want to be an officer doctor. And then I failed in biology. That was it. I thought I was gonna be a teacher. Oh, a teacher. Wow. Honestly, the thought of being a teacher have just come to me recently, especially after graduating and realizing I'm not finding jobs. That's when I was starting to feel like I can go back and do a postgraduate diploma to be a teacher, because that's the easier job to find here in Kenya. Eve says, I started flying airplanes at 19. Oh, you wanted to be a pilot. Almost got my commercial rating at 22. Wow. Nefisa says, officer doctor, I see. Eve says, I applied for military pilot and got accepted. Went off to training and had a medical issue, so I couldn't fly anymore. Oh, that's awful. I feel bad for when our dreams get cut short. For example, for me, my dream was cut short because I didn't my grades in biology. See, it is like that dream was cut short. That's all I wanted. So everything that I do apart from that, do I really want it, or am I doing for survival? I was flying. But you know what? I honestly I want to say that, like, even as an adult, if you could just dream as a kid, naive, because look at the dreams that we had. Like, those were solid dreams. You are dreaming of the impossible. Right now, I think the reality is too hard. Like, as a grown-up, it's like reality is slapping you in the face. Eve says, I was flying army helicopters for a bit. Wow, good for you. What did you graduate in? Social work and community development. Yeah, it's a social science. Okay, guys, I hope you're liking the live stream, subscribing. Also, let me know, when you were younger, what did you think you're going to be when you grow up? Yeah, let me know that. Yeah, I feel like that's why I think adulting is not a good thing, because you get slapped with this reality. Okay, reality is I don't know how you would say that, but reality is not a good thing. Reality is not a good thing. When you get slapped with the reality of how things are, oh, done. Yeah, done. Okay, if you're watching, you can just, even if you're not interested in explaining what you wanted, okay, let me know what you wanted to be. Sada country. Oh, welcome back, my good friend. How are you doing? When you were younger, what did you think you're going to be when you grow up? For some reason, that little minute that the thing disconnected, I'm even having a headache from it, because I ran outside real quick checking if other people have electricity. I don't know if do you guys use prepaid electricity in your country? So I know for a bit in the US you pay after using. Here we pay before using, like prepaid. Ahini says Accra. You wanted to be an Accra? When you were younger, what did you think you're going to be when you grow up? Sarah says, depends how younger. When I was a small child, my mom told me I wanted to be a doctor. When I was at teenage years, I thought of being a photographer. I ended up to have a teaching degree. We are talking about when you were young. Because see, teenage, that's reality slapping you in the face. Realizing, oh my God, this a joke that used to run around my high school, that when you are young, you want to be a pilot, okay? And then when you get to like 10 years old, when you get to 10 years old, now you want to be a nurse, okay? And then when you get when you become 12, you want to be a teacher, okay? And then at 15, you want to be a watchman. I feel like the more we grow up, that's why you gotta value, you gotta love the innocence of a child, okay? Because as a child, you're innocent and you have not been slapped with reality. So you're just a dreamer. You're just dreaming. What am I opening? This chocolate Kit Kat. Yeah. Sada says, okay then, doctor like for the kids, because I was scared of doctors as a kid and I wanted to be a good doctor whom kids wouldn't be scared of, okay? I don't know why I wanted to be a doctor. Honestly, I think I wanted to be a doctor because it sounded prestigious. Everybody would respect me. For me, it was all about the social class. I feel like growing up and like not having the best child, okay, maybe I would not have traded. Okay, I think I would have traded my childhood for a better one, but that's neither here nor there. But only to say, I think for me, I wanted anything that you see, because in my mind, this is when it comes to social class, there's this and there's this. So I think I was here. Okay, so for me, it was never about being a good doctor or whatever. It's just I just wanted to like, yeah, I even right now I realize that I'm obsessed with social status. I don't know if it makes sense, and I think we all are in different ways. It's like you want to be seen, you want people to see that you are somebody, especially after spending so much time thinking that you are a nobody. I don't know if it makes sense to you, but it kind of makes sense to me. Eve says, my ex is a doctor. It's a lot of work. She had no life during school. And even after school, but at least you get compensated with good money. Okay, you get compensated with good money. But honestly, right now, looking at the way I'm usually yuckish towards everything, like when I look at a wound, I just sometimes feel like I want to throw up. Also, okay, and I know that's the job of like a nurse. When it comes to patients and like, let's say, sometimes as a nurse, you have to professionally clean the patients and all of that. Honestly, I don't know if I'm down for that. I don't know if I'm down for that. I think that was just a dream or a fantasy, because in real life right now, who I am, I don't know. I don't know if I can be able to handle that. Like dressing wounds, surgery. Not to mention, I usually watch childbirth videos and then I just start crying. Now I want to be a UFO researcher. What's a UFO researcher? Sada says, yes, it's very common because if we don't have anything, everyone looks at us down and useless or not impressive. While we have something like a degree, they look wow, Yeah, and I know what you're saying. I know what you're talking about. For me, even being serious, the way I was serious in school, it's always about getting myself up there. But I realized then you spend your whole life chasing something not for yourself but for other people. I don't want to be that person anymore. I think I just stopped chasing things to impress people, because the truth is at the end of the day they will never be satisfied. Okay, you go so high and then they're like, oh, this person joined the Illuminati. I don't know if you're allowed to say that. I usually just say anything here. Eve says, especially now that US government is releasing UFO files, they are creating jobs in the field. And identifying flying object, aliens. Wow, aliens. Danson Wesonga says hi. Okay, that's interesting. When you were younger, what did you think you're going to be when you grow up? That's the question we are dealing with right now. My good name is Womboy. Thank you so much for being here. Oh my God. Unidentified flying objects. That's interesting. That's interesting. When you were younger, what did you think you're going to be when you grow up? Okay, honestly, I feel like uh I feel like reality or like adulthood have stolen away my childhood dreams. Okay, don't get me wrong. I still have the same. This okay, and I think I talked about you guys. If you haven't catched up with the video that I recently posted, talking about what it is like growing in a dysfunctional family in an African household, you should catch up with that and maybe tell me how you feel. Also, I asked questions right there. You can also tell me. What I'm saying is like I feel like right now, okay, my dreams were taken away from me, not taken away from me, but we all know that you grow up and all of a sudden you have to be mature and all of those things. But I kind of feel like my naivety was taken away from me like by adulthood. Okay, so do I have the same dreams right now? No. But do I still dream? Yes, but right now I'm dreaming of things of like having a home, having a way to pay bills. I think maybe it happens like that for everybody. um they had a disclosure hearing yesterday in Washington DC. Oh, okay. Thomas says, I've always been interested in electronics since I was a child, and I work at a telecommunications company. My specialty is high-speed internet. Oh God, I need a high-speed internet. Can you install for me, sir? Okay, high speed. That's pretty much up to date. I feel like most of us dreams were things like, let me tell you, in African households, mostly, and I would assume maybe it's in most households, Asian, whatever. They only know like 5 professions: doctor, teacher, pilot, engineer. Those are the professions that make sense. But to see you saying that like telecommunication company, when you tell people that, they are like, yeah, people just want to be the other 4 professions. So that's pretty much interesting, and it's pretty much recent. Okay, that's interesting. At least I know one more thing about you. Trevor Njoroge says, if I'm Kenyan, I am Kenyan. I am Kenyan. Why? L33 says, oh, hi girl, long time no see. Oh, long time. It's been a minute. I haven't seen you over here. Lebon says, see, hi, good to see you. Sadia says, East was really first the Epstein files, now the, hey, Americans are gonna, L33 say, I will tell you something. Trauma, no friendship, over controlling narcissistic African parents are just, okay. Okay, maybe you can share about that. You can share, and you guys, maybe you should watch, for example, like, I think you have a lot to say. You should watch that video. Doctor, nurse, teacher, pilot. And guys, if you're just joining in, you're wondering what we are talking about, what were you, okay, when you were younger, what did you think you're going to be when you grow up? Okay, I'm just talking about how adulthood takes away the naivety, and it just presents you with facts. Okay, you want to be a doctor? What am I doing right now? Streaming in the middle of the night, right? Because right now is about survival. It's more about survival and hustle. Nephew says, I hope to find a balance between accepting the harsh reality and keeping my naivety. I don't want to lose it completely. It's hard though. You know what? I was thinking the same. The other day I was thinking, I want to grow up. That's true. Okay. But I want to keep that naivety, that childhood, that childish version of myself that believes everything is possible, that childlike spirit that tells me that, and I think I still have it. I think I still got it, and that's why I'm even able to stream this, because honestly, this is just me being unreasonable and like just being childish, like, and being not looking it in an adult brain. If you look it in an adult brain, why would you waste your 2 hours every other day coming on here to talk about topics that maybe don't matter in real life? Why would you do that? But if you look it in a childlike spirit perspective, when you look at it that way, what I see is like I'm able to reach people from different places in the whole world. That's interesting. When I look at it in the in the childlike spirit that I have, that believe that I still have. Why are you guys retracting your message? I hope you plan to send them back. Okay, when I look at that in my childhood thing, I think I feel like I'm creating a family here, community, and that's the thing the childhood spirit does for me. But the adulthood version of me, the mature boy, looks at this like, why am I wasting my time? I could be watching a show that time that I'm streaming here. I could maybe be looking for a real job, but see, okay, L33 motion. You guys are sending messages and retracting them. You can leave it there even with the mistakes, and then maybe you can just correct. Okay, but that's okay. Good for you. Okay, the childlike spirit. I know it will leave me, but I feel sad not having that, like, being the childlike spirit, because I feel like that takes you so far. Dama says, I strongly suspect that a young person's background is a decisive factor in their choice of career. It really is. It really is. When you look at people who come, and this is on my how I look at it, I feel like people who come from backgrounds that are well off. Okay, I see you, Sada. Okay, you can share what you're comfortable with. I strongly suspect that a young person's background. Okay, I feel like that's exactly what it is. Okay, and I talked about it in the video. I am advertising that video to you. The title is What It's Like Growing Up, but it's not an amazing video, but it's just me in the middle of the night. I just recorded myself. I was having, are they intrusive thoughts or whatever? So, and then I recorded. I was talking about, no one talks about, like, when you grow up in poverty, when you grow up in abuse, when you grow up with a lot of dysfunctional family around you. As an adult, let me tell you, I don't dream about owning a car. I don't dream about I dream about having a safe space as a home. Okay, so I feel like that's the same thing, because even when it comes to jobs, you're looking for security. That's what you're literally looking for. Yeah, so which means, and you'll see people who grew up with not a lot of security in life, they don't want to take risks. You don't want to take risk, and I know that. Not always. Okay, I hope you're typing something, Sada, because your message was so long. I was waiting to get to it. Now I feel bad that you track it, but that's okay. Hadija versus says, "Hey, are you a Kikuyu?" Yeah, yes I am. Yes I am. Ash says you can either blame the background or be the first one in your bloodline to build that background, and that's what it is right there. But if I feel like it's another thing when you're aware of what you're going through, and yeah, okay, you can sit here and blame your background every other day. The truth is, you have to get over that. But if you're not aware of what's going on, then you're gonna repeat the same mistakes. And I feel like me talking out loud about my background and what I look at, I think it helps me to move forward. Sarah says, I think it's not always true, because I chose teaching, but always had issues with schools and discouragement from teachers. Wow. Maybe you chose to be a teacher so that you can be a different type of teacher. I don't know. I'm just saying. And when I met teachers that try to encourage and tell me I have potential, those later encouragements didn't work anymore. Wow, because you already had that perception about teachers. Okay, I think I pretty much used to do so well when it comes to subjects that belonged to teachers who are encouraging. I used to do so well in those subjects. Okay, so I can see the influence of a teacher even in a child's choice of career and what they become in the future. Okay. Yeah, thanks for sharing about your background. Okay, I feel like if I'm talking about creating a community here, I feel like me omitting that and not telling you that is like me skipping a chapter in my life. And it's not like, I don't think it's a must for people to share their stories online. But I feel like, me personally, I just want to talk about it because at the end of the day, you know, when you talk about things out loud, you kind of heal. I have healed so much about by talking about the experiences. So that is, I think it's common for people who pursue teaching thinking they will be better, but ironically, it turns out quite backwards, if not worse. Not all, of course, but I feel like the thing is what we don't realize as teachers, but for people who pursue teaching, but I think you are taught in school that, you know, you have no idea how other people's children can literally piss you off. These children are pissing their own parents. Their own parents feel this relief when the children go to school. So it's like you're trying to deal with a child, with a child's brain, and this is an individual that doesn't belong to you. You didn't create them. So I can see why, honestly, I can see why teachers are usually mean, because it's like you're being told that you are responsible for a person that is not your child. You didn't help create them. That's just my notion. I don't know if it's true or not. Yeah, I feel like that's why most teachers are normally maybe brutal, rude, because also children can be mean. Children can also be hard-headed. When they fail, they are not becoming anything, you are going to be blamed. So what do teachers do? Be brutal. Okay, here, you know, like in the US, I think there's a lot of children have a lot of rights. Here, like, okay, right now, most teachers do not what is it called, use a Bunsen burner on the children, like tap tap tap. But when I grew up, oh god, when you got late to go to school, you would even be told to look on the other side, and then somebody is just whooping your ass. So god, I didn't hear that come out. Okay, that was just what one also has to consider the cultural background and the political situation when striving to fulfill one's professional dreams. Yeah, honestly, like I feel like people who are doing tech right now, also if you are maybe passionate about media and stuff like that, we are at a place where like everybody is a consumer of some type of information. Okay, if you have some information that you can give, then I feel like this is the best time, you know. For example, like right now, most people don't understand what content creation is. Okay, I certainly also don't understand how it works, to be really honest. But you have to see what season are we in. Okay, we are at a point where people are consuming anything, so maybe it's a time for you to feed people anything. I don't know. Sada says yes, but emo teachers, I don't know what emo is. God, I'm not. Teachers are not parents. Just teach the subject and try to keep the silence in class. If not, then parent, council, or staff. Okay, but you'd be surprised by the number of parents who do not tell their children when they are wrong. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised by the number of parents, especially in this generation, the number of parents who are just raising what are they? Queens and kings. Okay, their children are the one who control them. Actually, you'll be surprised by the number of people. Okay, and then the excuse is, you know, people who don't have children, you know, there's somebody who told me that, oh, emo is, in my opinion, like, oh my god, no, I'm ashamed. But no, I usually type full sentences, that's why. Okay, in my opinion. Okay. Okay, let me read again. Yes, but in my opinion, teachers are not parents. Okay. Somebody told me that like people who don't have children always have opinions on people's children. I don't know if that's true. But maybe people who don't have children always have opinions on how children should be raised, on how they should live, on what's respectful and what's not. Maybe we only say that because we don't have to deal with that in real life. Teaching is one of the hardest jobs. When I was in grade 12, I used to take tuitions of students up to grade 11. It was a tough task. Wow, it's a hard job. Okay, I have never been a teacher, so I don't. Oh, but see, I kind of like taught a little bit. I was talking to people about community development and social work during my attachment days. So I think I remember there was a bunch of students in that place because we were running a program for the community. Yeah, I remember it wasn't, and also it was not children, it was teenagers. Okay, some of them start liking you, uh, and then some of them just start joking around when you're teaching, especially when you look. Of course, you can tell. Actually, I don't want to say that I look young, but back then when I was teaching, or not teaching, but educating people about community and stuff like that, I was even younger than I am right now. um Okay. Sada says, my teacher my teacher in elementary school was screaming every day. She could be heard from the first floor all the way to the third floor. I also heard she splashed boiled water to child's face, then she got fired. Okay, I think mostly is all about like even frustration, okay? Let's say her she was upset with her husband, and then when she comes to school she doesn't know how to separate between job and her personal life. And I think I wouldn't be a good teacher because of that, because if I was sad last night, there's no way I'm coming to joke around with you, you know. Lama says, as perhaps already mentioned, education is the key to success. That is something that one should always tell one's children. Okay, but it depends. Okay, honestly, I can tell children that education is the key to success because it opens you in ways that nothing else can. But I think it also depends with which country are you talking about, because you might also be misleading children. Okay, let me see. Oh, this has been such a fun question. Such a fun question. Yeah, okay, let me see. What's one thing that happened to you in your life that made you a stronger person? Okay, Ash says education is the key to 9 to 5. The real ones making money in business and politics are not that educated. Okay, and I feel like that's what is taking away from us saying that, because I am seeing people becoming billionaires with zero education, and then I'm like, was I wasting my time or what? But I feel like in countries where there's no corruption, maybe education still is the key to success. But I feel like I got told that education is the key to success my whole life without being told that I also have to be street smart to survive or to even make anything out of the education that I have. Okay, maybe we should be adding the education is the key to success, but you have to be street smart. Maybe that's what we should add to that sentence. What do you guys think? Uh-huh. Ash says, my GPA is 9.7. I left my job and started working on my business. Education doesn't matter. Your practical knowledge does. Is education the key to success, guys? Okay, let's dwell on that. Like, do you still think that education is the key to success? Sarah says, sometimes I feel like power relies on paper, diploma, and etc. Like, feels like you can be as dumb as a rock and some people will still see you as respectable just because you got papers. Yeah, I also see that. But see, the thing is, also I can see the other side, okay? I have seen people who are not, they don't even have any bit of education, but you know what? They had the right amount of resources. They knew the right people. See, and I feel like that's what takes away, especially in countries like Kenya, that's what takes away from education. Because if some people are just succeeding by knowing the right people, then what would be the purpose of like persevering? What would be the purpose of like keeping going if some people are just gonna thrive by opening the right doors just because they know people, somebody knows somebody who knows somebody, you know what I'm saying? Oyitanda Ndibaza, hello from South Africa. Hello from Kenya. How are you doing? What do you think? What? Okay. The question was, or what people are referring to is, what did you want to be as a? Okay. What would? Okay. Where was the question? When you were younger, what did you think you're going to be when you grow up? That's the question that we are looking at. And Thomas said something interesting, that education is the key to success. I think that's what we are commenting on. I'm just filling you in. L33 says, having strict African parents. Oh no, stop retracting messages. I was reading it. Nefista says, I think education is key to growth. It was for me, at least. I'm still unemployed though. Okay, see, even me, in my opinion, education is the key to opening doors, is the key to growth. Because see, if, okay, for example, in a country like Kenya, whereby we have various languages, English is not my first language. Okay, see, how am I able to communicate with you guys? Through English. How do I know English? Through school. Okay, no, the question have not changed. What I do is like, so I'm gonna come back to the question, but no, type again. Don't retract a question. First of all, I don't have to follow a specific structure. I just go with what you guys want to talk about. What was I talking about now? Okay, I was just saying that I feel like education for me, it has opened doors, but not in the way that I was told. I thought that education would open financial doors for me immediately, like being employed. But I think now I can see what education does, because my mindset is not the same. Okay, I see opportunities from nothing. See, like, I am not the same. I cannot compare myself with somebody who is not educated. Okay, but see, the problem is he's telling children that like you just taking children through a system just for them to get employed. It does not end well, because you don't prepare this child for to do other things. You just prepare them to be queens and kings sitting by the office, and then when they grow up and they realize that might not be an option for them, you just sit in your room and wallow, you know. Okay, Alexander says, I just want, oh, you're still here, Alexander. I just wanted to be a husband and a father of 5. Guys, please don't retract messages. That's pissing me off. I just wanted to be a husband and a father of 5 with some land and a vehicle. Oh my God. And I know most people dream to be mothers too. Wow, simple goals. Did you get all of that? And are you satisfied? Have you gotten to being father of 5? Oyitanda Dimbaza says, my dream was simple. It was joining the private sector because the money is good now. I'm currently waiting for funding from the government. Okay, can you say that you accomplished your dreams? My independence is my private life and my profession, which offers me a great deal of freedom. Allow me to realize my potential. Oh, allow you to realize your potential. Okay. Okay, that's a pretty nice, I think that's a pretty nice offer. Oyitanda, okay. Alexander, you're just laughing. Okay, simple dreams. Okay, how many of you just wanted to be wives and fathers and husbands and boyfriends? Oh God. Oh, but you want to tell me that you never dreamt of being something? in the professional world. Ash says, I would like maybe one day, maybe the next, when I go live again, I'll even tag something to do with Asia to see if I'll get some people from Asian countries, because you know what? I would like to know, because for example, in China, I don't know if this is a stereotype or is a reality. In China and Japan, those children start working on their talents young, making watches and all of these things. Do they want to be something when they grow up, or they are already what they are as little children? Ash says, I cracked one of the top ranked exams in the world. Studied in one of the topmost engineering colleges in my country. Trust me, education just gets you 9 to 5 corporate job. Okay. Nefisa says, I'm not the same exactly. Okay. Yeah, and that's it. Like you're not the same. Like you will never, okay, you'll never go through education and be the same. Although most of the time it kind of just prepares you for employment. So if you don't get employed, you get crushed. Okay. And even the society, especially in African cultures, when you start a business in African cultures, it's like people are just seeing that you're such a joke. You're such a joke. Like, why are you not being a doctor? Why are you not getting employed? Alexander says, I'm from a village in America also. Oh, really? I didn't know that about you. Oyitana says, well, I'm not broke, at least, so I guess that's a start. Okay. Alexander says, when I went to school, I dreamt of being a great import-export dealer. Wow. But see, you can look at the difference. For people in first world, I think you guys' dreams, you are allowed to dream something that's not formal. Let me tell you, your parent asks you what do you want to be out here, and then you say you want to be a farmer. Are you crazy? You want to be what I am? Like, where is that gonna get you? But the truth is, you can be a professional farmer and make tons of money. Oyitana says, in these interesting times, I would advise you to start a business. Ownership is the future. Okay. Miri Bash says, hi Wamboy, hi to you, good to see you, welcome to the live stream. Oh God, I think we have a lot to say when it comes to professions, really. Okay, so if you would go back, would you still go to school? Let's look at that question. How are you, girl? Subbed you 3 months ago. I love how you do your live streams. Always watch in Bush. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, you guys, for being supportive, especially those who found my channel the first, and you guys like, because I think that's what I've got us here. Thank you. So what I was, okay, if you were to go back in time, would you still pursue the same, okay, would you go to school? Let's start there. If you were to go back and go through the system again, would you choose, especially for those of you who have college diplomas, university degrees, would you still do it? Okay, when I move to Kenya, I will start a dairy farm somewhere in Kiambu. I think you wanted to say Kiambu. Okay. Ash says, owning a business is the best, but that needs dedication. Sometimes you gotta wake up at midnight to attend meetings, mainly when you have international clients. Yeah, and I think I see that, I don't know if I'm crazy, but I look at this channel, like anything that you are doing, especially social media. I think we underestimate social media right now. But I think even projects like this is like a business. This is something. But see, the thing is, you put extra work than you would at a job, because this is you. If you don't do it, nobody's doing it. Okay, so maybe starting a business is the future. Greetings everyone, Miribes, that's what you say. Okay, I think I take the greeting on their behalf. Oyitanda Dibaza says, school lied to us. We were told if you got good grades you would get a fancy job. Now people are not getting jobs, so survive. And that, I feel like that's why even when you look at the depression and suicide rates are just high, because we got sold a system that doesn't work. Okay, honestly, me personally, in my mind, what I thought when I joined university, I think And I kind of can remember my high school teacher saying that when you step your foot in university, okay, that's the moment your life changes. Honestly, that's what I remember being told. I remember being told the moment I set my African foot in university, my life changes instantly. Okay, I feel like it changed because university took my innocence. It changed because university took my innocence. But other than that, like I was told that when I get to university, I have already made it in life. Okay, on the bright side, I can at least run and become a member of parliament in Kenya comfortably because I have a degree. But when I look at the other things that I was told, those were just made up stories. God. Charles says, classes still fun to take. Okay, I think one of the things that I would still, the only reason that I would still want to go through a school system is to make friends, to be naive with a bunch of other people, to have people who are my age around me, because like right now I don't get that. Okay. And Devisa says yes. Okay, Alexander says no, I wouldn't go to college. Why? Ashes, yes, doing engineering was one of the most important experience. After being through that heck, I got the confidence that I can survive anything. To be really honest, I also feel like I went through so much in university that I don't think anything phases me. Okay, don't get me wrong. I get scared with life and all of that, but I think right now I have been through so much in university, so I don't think things phase me right now. I believe college today is a scam, huge scam, and people who are even there teaching you, why are they not pursuing what they are teaching you to become? That's another question. Oitana says, oh snap, you went to university, I'm going to college because in college I'll get internships. Yeah, I went to university. You're laughing. University took your innocence. Tell me university didn't take your innocence. Oh my God. I think I'm going to post after this. Okay, no. I don't want to post those pictures on social media. Maybe I will. Okay, but I'll see. When I post pictures of me before uni, oh God. I was so innocent, so naive. I had a future ahead of me. Oh God. And then I got to university and realized these people who are also they don't give a whatever. People are there having fun. Okay? God, in university, that's where I got introduced to even things like alcohol. My first try was like alcohol, even things like when you talk about maybe weed, like honestly all those things I tried them in university. If I never went to university, most probably I would not have tried them. Okay, so that's why I say university took away my innocence. I don't know if university took away yours, or maybe college. Okay. Sada says, once I had a bad time in uni and I just didn't want to go anymore. But I still needed to go. But for a time, I didn't go. Then my grandma got upset and started to compare me with my cousin Bra. Oh God, that can be such a bad one. And I don't like when people compare children. You know, I feel like that kind of takes away. I had an aunt of mine, and you know, I usually tell you guys my family business. But see, like my mom, she does okay. She can hear English, but she doesn't understand it. And sometimes I tell her to watch the videos to give me watch hours, but she does not understand. Sometimes I even talk about their personal business, but she does not understand. So, okay, I was gonna say there's an aunt of mine. She used to always compare me with other people, telling me that I don't have a good handwriting, uh, that another person had a good handwriting. Mind you, that person didn't even get a good grade. Anyway, I was always first in high school, in my class, because we were divided south north. I was number one in my class. In primary school, elementary school, I was number 3. I have always been a bright student, but there's just people who just like to put you down for absolutely no reason. Uh, okay. Oitana says, if you want to be financially safe, start a business that people use daily. Know your market. Okay, I think I might start selling coffee to you guys, especially you guys in the US, and mail it to you. Okay, Ash says after qualifying through a tough exam, the first thing our professors told that we don't care if you come or not. Government already pays our salary, so the lesser the students, the better it is. And the truth is, they really do not. Okay, honestly, in my class, we used to be in university, like the professor comes in, you're there having stories. This person does not continues to talk when he literally can see you guys talking, making videos, watching TikToks when you're still in class, because at the end of the day, is they don't care. You are grown up, you're 20 something year old, you know. What do you mean by the university took your independence? Not my independence, my innocence. I said innocence. Innocence. Maybe I might have said it wrong. You know, when I get heated, I kind of say it. But I think I meant innocence. University took my innocence. Okay. Okay, Sadakan says, I remember one teacher congratulated me for graduating and what? Oh God, why? Why? Why would you retract a message while I was reading? Okay, God. Where was the next question? I didn't word it correctly, sorry. Okay, you take your time to type it back. Okay, you guys can keep asking me question. My good name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for being here. Also, like, when we finish these videos, guys, please, before you leave, make some time to like comment on it after I post it. Okay, it really pushes the video. Next question, but we can still keep talking on the same if you guys still have things to say. What's one thing that happened to you in your life that made you a stronger person? What's one thing that happened to you in your life that made you a stronger person? Ash says, I worked so hard for graduation, but when I had to go collect my degree, I was in the hospital preparing for my surgery as I injured my back in the gym. Wow. Okay. Ooh. Oh God, I think everybody has trauma stories when it comes to schools. But honestly, if you are here and you're still schooling, I feel like it's still a good thing for you to go for it. I don't know. Go for it, but also when you are over there, when these professors are telling you about being employed, ask them about businesses. Ask them about how can you start a business. Ask them about how do you save money. Ask them questions about, you know, I think if I was to go back to school, that's what I would do. Okay, I will not be asking professor, okay, this course that I'm doing, where can I get employed? I will not be asking that. I'll be asking them, which job can I start, or which business can I start that is related to this field? Okay, list them. Nefisa says many things. For instance, got cheated on from a partner. Oh my God, how did that change you? Did it change you to be mean? Because honestly, I feel like especially in a situation when one person have been cheated on, the partners that come after, the partners that you meet after that situation, pay for this person's actions of cheating on you. Like, do you feel like you lost your trust? Can you ever trust somebody again? But yeah, being cheated on. Okay, what's an experience that changed my life completely? What's one thing that happened to you in your life that made you a stronger person? Ash is my girlfriend. Oh my God, you guys have confessions. My girlfriend cheated on me. I almost got paralyzed in a spinal injury, but I'm okay now. I left my job to look after mom. I lost my mom. Oh God. My first business shut overnight due to government regulation. Oh my God. Ooh. How do you keep going? How do you keep going when you go through these things? Honestly, like sometimes I am a little bit whiny and maybe sometimes ungrateful. And then I like this question, like what, Ash, you're talking about what you've gone through. Like, wow. So sorry for the loss of your mother. Ashes, but the best thing is I have a bulletproof mind. I'll fall 9 times but stand up 10 times. God, okay. Alexander says, my father passed away in 2003. That made me stronger. Oh, okay. I'm so sorry for your loss, okay? So sorry for your loss. You know, there's a time when I was talking about my grandfather. He, okay, okay, I wouldn't say that he helped so much with me growing up like as a child, but okay, they literally helped so much in feeding us and all of that stuff. But when I was in university, that man showed up for me. Like he used to, okay, and this used to be at a point where uh it used to be at a point where, like, you know how you go in university, sometimes you don't have money and you don't have anyone to ask for. My grandfather, he was old. He didn't even know how to operate a phone. He would just give my mom some money and tell her to send it to me, and just tell me it's from him. And that man kept doing that from when I joined university to when he passed away before I joined my third year in university. I think that broke me. Okay, but I'm here thinking, I'm talking about my grandfather, not my father, not my mom. So I can only imagine for you who have lost somebody who is that close, like a parent. I can only imagine how that can change you, or how that can make you to have to be stronger, because losing my grandfather and how he was supportive. He was so proud because I was the first grandchild to go to university in his bloodline. He was so proud of me, and I think he would have been more proud seeing me graduate from university and be the woman that I am today. He would have been more proud. Okay, so I can only sympathize with everybody who've lost somebody close to them. uh, Nefista says to Alexander, sorry for your loss. Rachel Murugi says, hi, good to see you. Ash says, I just lost mom 2 days after my 24th birthday. Oh God, that thing hurt me the most. But at the end of the day, life doesn't stop. It has to go on, right? Yeah, it really has to go on. It really has to go on. Wow. L33 Motion says, strict African parents make you a rebel, sneaky, defensive, also bullies. I know. You know, I came across somebody who was talking about mourning the loss of her parents when they are still alive. Okay, you know, because you mourn them because maybe they're just strict. They don't understand. They want to manipulate you. They want to force you into black tax and all of those things. But maybe when you look at it in the dimension where these are people talking about that they have lost their parents, and then you think about yours is still here even though he or she is mean, and then you're like, what should I do? Okay, Carrie, oh, how do I pronounce that? Carrie Glex. Oh, sorry. Hi, dear. Hi, good to see you. Ash says, after that, I don't fear losing anything. I've already lost the most important woman in my life. Oh, yeah, and you can never replace that. I feel like you can never replace that. Oh, okay, Alexander, I see you. Alexander says he'll even be more proud if you get married to a Kikuyu man. No, I don't think my grandfather's mind worked like that. You have to understand, this is a man who used to of course he was a grown up during colonization. He's a man who used to cook for a British man, and honestly, he taught me how to cook tea for the British. How they liked Kenyan tea, but they really liked you to boil it. Like, and he used to talk about you know how he could describe, and there's a video that I talked about my grandfather in a video. It was about how colonialism still affects Africa today. I don't think my grandfather had that mindset. When I joined university and I went to a whole different place with no Kikuyu people, he was telling me those people are really nice and all of that. So I don't think that would have been the mindset. Sarah says, sorry for deleting comments so much because I don't know how to make it so I don't share too many personal things. Okay, but okay, now I understand. You know, if I have started reading, that's when I get pissed. Like, why? Alexander, I've learned over the years, somebody always got worse than you. You know what? And that's it. Boy, I gotta sleep now. It's 2 a.m. for me. Gotta wake up early in the morning and start my work. It's pain in the ass by being a business owner too. Good night. Okay, night to you. Okay, and thank you for hanging out. So what's okay? Let me see. What's one thing that's happened to you, in your life that made you a stronger person? For me, it has to be a lot of things. Okay, I don't think that I feel like he's still early in Germany, isn't it? Okay. What's one thing? I think there's a lot of things that have happened to me that I can share here. I feel like they are maybe too personal to even share if you would like, but there's a lot of things that happened to me that really changed made me a stronger person, or realize I am stronger than I realized. So there are so many things. Okay, 11 p.m. here because it's midnight here. But personally, okay, for those of you who are in places where it's late, you can go to sleep, no problem. I usually sleep at 2 a.m. and I wake up at 10 a.m. So do not compare yourself with me. I think I'm perfectly fine. Sada says, I don't think the decisive event has happened yet to make me be stronger. I'm still weak. Okay. Okay. But I feel, it doesn't have, the fact is, when you read about other people and see what they have gone through, you might think, you might start belittling what you've been through, what have made you stronger. Okay, but I think I would say these other things that I can share here, or maybe I cannot share with anybody, but I would mostly say growing up in a dysfunctional situation, growing up in a chaotic space have made me stronger. Yeah. Growing up always worrying, like, are we gonna be fighting tonight? Like, growing up worrying about that, it shapes you in ways nothing else can. And I know, for example, losing a parent is more serious than that. Yeah. Okay, Alexandra says, I think this YouTube channel has made you stronger by talking about your issues in the village. I think so. I think so too. Honestly, I think so too. I also think so. But like, talking about my, okay, yeah, because through this time, I think I've opened up more here than I ever have, even in real life. Okay, because I feel like I'm talking to a screen. Okay, I know there's somebody on the other end, but just for some reason I just feel free to say. Alex Kabi says hi. Good to see you. Welcome to the live show. How are you doing? Fun boy says hi to you. Sadakantu says, I think depends on self-initiative. We can read hundreds of experience and still not learn anything if we don't try again. If we don't try doing some, I don't know, changes, it's like getting inspired to exercise and next day sleep, and that's it. See, for me, I feel like also showing up. See, and also for those of you who have been telling me, children are a good experience. I know that children are a good experience, but you have to listen to my story to really understand me. That, like, I don't want to, if the only thing that I can give to the next generation is my name, if the only thing that I can give to them is passing down trauma, if the only thing that I can give to the next generation is problems, if I am not bringing them for any value, maybe I don't deserve to have any. Okay, and that's my mindset, honestly. Maybe I don't deserve if I cannot, at least, okay. And giving children a good start do not mean that they're gonna be great. Okay, I honestly feel like children who have been who have gone through challenges are often the ones who do well in school. They're often the ones who succeed. But I just don't want that to be my child's story. If it makes sense, okay. And maybe I would challenge for those of you who have children, just try and make the best out of it, okay. If they end up saying that, oh my god, we didn't have a great experience because you are a really mean person and all, especially giving children peace, okay, turning your home into a peaceful space, okay, into like a bubble place where they can just imagine, I'm surely happy for you, okay? And thank you for being part of the journey, every one of you guys being part of the journey, okay? I know I'm going to one day sit in platforms sharing my story, okay? But you know why I will be able to do that? Because I'll have gotten stronger by sharing my story right here on this channel. But it's a turning point of your life. Oh, a turning point. Okay, turning point. Yeah, I think the ones that are turning points, I don't have the energy to share. Maybe with the right man, you will be a great mother, wife, businesswoman. Okay, with the right. Okay, I think no. I feel like that can be the case because your children's status does not entirely depend on you as a person. It also depends on the partner that you choose and stuff like that. Like, who is the father of these children? Okay, what do they do with their life? Who are they? All those things kind of make sense altogether. But yeah, I said I am allowed to change my mind, but so far so good. I still think the same. Okay, now we are looking at almost okay, let me see. A bit out of topic. You got such white teeth. They look perfect. I know. Everybody talks about them. I think there's a time that somebody said that the only thing that I got going on is my teeth. I think it was such a back, what is it called? Back whatever compliment. But you know what? Yeah. You guys, I should start selling tutorials how to keep your teeth clean. Alexander says, but really, I think you need to marry a Black American man. I have a Black American man, so I'm gonna marry him. Oh, okay. Okay, this is a scenario thing type of situation, okay? This sounds like an indirect proposal. Oh, because he's Black American, he's married. I think he's married and I got children. And okay, fun fact, fun fact, guys, fun fact. You know what? I never owned a toothbrush until I was in high school. Fun fact. Can you believe that? I never owned a toothbrush until I was in high school. That's a fun fact. That's a fun fact. I kind of forgot about that. And in my house, I'm the only one with... Okay, no. I think my dad also have nice teeth. But I think I'm the only one with good teeth. I'm typing another question. If someone offered you... Okay, you guys will meet in the video, yeah. Sadar Kantu says, when I'm brushing, I mostly end up hurting my gum and bleed a little. Okay. I don't know. I think you kind of need to be gentle. I'm typing something, guys. Okay, that's why I got a soft toothbrush. And but you know what? The soft toothbrush does not get the things in between those teeth. It really doesn't. When I was okay, as I said, I owned a tooth. My first toothbrush I got in high school, but I used to use trees. I used to use. I was obsessed with teeth. So I used to like get a tree, a branch from a tree, and then without toothbrush, by the way, just do it brute and then just keep doing it. Okay, but when I got the toothbrush, because that's something that I never owned, I just took it extra personal. I would even brush my teeth like right now. Sometimes I think today I've brushed how many times? Maybe I would guess 3 times. Yeah. So because I took it personal. Like I took it personal when I first got the toothbrush. I took it personal. So if someone offered you $1,000 to kiss your friend and your significant other was right there, would you? For $1,000. Let's see. If someone offered you $1,000 to kiss your friend and your significant other was right there, would you? Sarah says, well, I guess I can't answer it because I don't have friends. I am not gay and I am not married, so I will be poor. Okay, no, okay, this is in a fantasy world or a fictional situation. You have a girlfriend, you have a friend, female, or maybe male, if you are whatever your orientation is, and your significant other is right there. Okay, would you? Okay, if someone offered you $1,000, and your significant other is right there to kiss, to kiss a friend, would you? Let me see you guys lying. You would be like, only kissing? Okay, would I? I think I would. But I think I would. But honestly, you would have to first of all give the money to me. Uh, Bruh, nah, that's crazy. It's not great. Okay, yes, you know what? At the end of the day, you kind of give your partner that eye, like, you know, we are going to share the money or like whatever. Or let's say you are even married and you literally needed that money, $1,000 right there. So it's like, okay, you know what? It doesn't mean anything. I feel like he's okay, so the answer is no for you. Like you're letting the $1,000 go. Wow. Maybe that's not too much for you. But $1,000, somebody giving you $1,000, even in the US, I feel like that's something. Stealing those money don't seem so bad compared to kissing someone other than your partner. Okay. But you realize that's a form of, honestly, that's a form of prostitution. Getting paid to kiss someone. Isn't it? It really is. It really is. Wow. Okay. So I think guys. Okay, so let's do a little bit of the other questions, the ones for this or that, just for fun before we wind up. So I'm going to kiss it to okay. Okay. So we are going to do save money or spend money and why. Let me type on the screen. Okay, save money or spend money, and why? Save money or spend money? But how to survive without spending them? See, okay, you can. Okay, so how much? Okay, what percentage should somebody save every other month from your pay? I feel like this is a pretty much nice chocolate. Chocolate. Is it chocolate? Yeah. The chocolate bar. Save money or spend money and how? See, I feel like there's different categories of people. There's people who spend all the money that they make, and I think I'm in that category. Honestly, I think money is supposed to be spent. But maybe because it's not like I have access to a lot, so it's like I kind of like have access to what's needed. But see, even when you have access to what's needed, sometimes maybe you should deprive yourself of some things and just save some money. It's a luxury problem. If I could afford to save money, I would. Okay. Okay, me too. Like that's the thing. Like it also depends with what are you willing to go without, because for some people you have to like uh deprive yourself of some other things so that you can have others. So uh Lucy the Jolly says save money because you need to provide for the bad season. Okay, but what percentage should somebody be saving? Let's say from a pay, what percentage should somebody be saving? Because I feel like when you treat saving as a bill, maybe that's the only way that you can be able to save. As another country says, it's hard. Well, in cases of emergencies, if you need for health issues, then save money, and then spend them. I don't know. Okay, it's pretty much hard. Okay, save money. I think everybody would prefer to save, but reality is reality. Yeah, do you save and then go without? Okay. Uh-huh. Comedy or horror? Comedy or horror? I'm gonna go with if I'm watching alone, comedy. If I'm watching with people, maybe horror is a little nice. Right now I'm into crime. Okay, I'm into crime drama, murder mysteries. That's what I'm watching. I just today I just finished watching a show on Netflix. It's called Safe. It's a crime drama. So comedy or horror? I go with comedy. Uh-huh. Okay, next up, book or movie? Book or movie? Nefista says comedy. I hate horror. Get too scared, especially when you are alone. Tell me about it. So that says easy. Comedy, horrors are stress for the body, and I find horrors, humans being a threat, more frightening than involving aliens or other non-real creatures, because it's not real, but human threat is real. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, I have never looked at it that way because this is imaginative. Okay, the things that happen in a horror movie are not even realistic. But doesn't it still scare you? I think it does. Okay. Book or movie? So when it comes to books or movie, right now, the phase that I'm in, I don't have time for books. I feel like books needs you to be focused, to be immersed in the story. I honestly feel like, and also the fact that right now they have movies which are acted out of books. So which means I can just maybe watch a movie. I think honestly, right now I'm at a stage where it's movie. But if you would have asked me that 2 years ago, I would have said books. There is a time that I used to read books until 2 a.m. I'm reading a book like I'm going crazy over this book. Okay. Hmm. So that says I think nowadays, okay, Nephista says very good movie adaptation of a great book. Okay, okay, I think we are kind of same on that one. For books, I mostly read non-fiction. Non-fiction. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Me too. Right now, the only book that I can read, I think, is non-fiction. Sada says, I think nowadays many would choose movies, but it is also maybe odd if to see it that way. When you read a book, you imagine it. Movies, someone imagine it for you. Yeah, someone imagined it for you, and yeah, you know what? That's it. Because I think I read this book. It's called It Ends With Us. Yeah, that's what the name of the book was. I read that book, It Ends With Us. And then I saw on Netflix, they released was it a movie? It was a series, It Ends With Us. And then I watched it, and what I was imagining when I was reading, because I remember I was reading every day, was so different from what was shown. Okay, so much different. Okay, yeah. So I think maybe non-fiction, maybe fictional books are nice, but you can, because we have evolved as a society and people are even acting the book. So yeah. Okay, work from home or office? Work from home or office? And we are winding up, guys, for those of you who want to like go to sleep. Oh, and I don't like eating on top of the laptop. It really a mix. If I had to choose from home, uh okay, you would prefer a mix, but if you had to choose from home, i think I think from home, I think working from home is nice, but you don't get to connect with people at your workplace. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get to do that. Okay. So if I was to choose personally, work from home or office, uh okay, I can go with work from home for the convenience, or I don't know. Oh, Richard says done with work for the day, heading home. Just wanted to say, oh my God, you guys are even done with work for the day, Lord. Oh, okay. Good night, buddy. Night to you. Have a nice. Is it evening or afternoon? Whatever. Yeah, have a nice afternoon. Okay, work from home or office? Honestly, it depends with like the work, because I can see, the workplace, you get to connect with people, you can get a promotion, because people get to see you every other day. Okay, so I think I would go for the development of the career. I would go with office, but for the convenience and the comfort, maybe work from home. Next one, sneakers or sandals? Sneakers or sandals? Sneakers or sandals? I go with sandals. I wear sandals every day. Like these are, and then and see, I think most of these things is about a face. There was a time that I was only wearing sneakers, but right now I'm at a place sandals every time. Sandals. Okay, now I'm just answering for myself because I'm winding up, guys. But you can also answer if you're typing. Just keep typing. The last one was cake or pie. I think this is the one that I'm gonna give you guys a chance. Cake or pie. I think I kind of like found a perfect time for me to be streaming. When it's for Africans, we are shutting down for the day, going to sleep. For Asia, same. For US, it's daytime. I think I kind of found the perfect time to stream, really, because you have to realize that like this whole thing also, like streaming of videos, is also about even time zones. When are people on their phones? Cake or pie? I think I would go with pie, because pie there's a lot of feelings, but with cake it's just flat bread. Okay, it's late here. It was nice to reply to your questions. Wish you a good night. Okay, even me, I'm winding up. Thank you for being part of the live stream. That really means a lot to me. Okay, it's also late here. It's midnight. Okay, so I hope nobody is typing, and everybody who was in the live stream, thank you so much. Make sure you continue interacting with my videos. Just leave a comment, let me know. Nefista, and you know what, Nefista, thank you for joining in. Also, thank you even for leaving your opinions on the other video that I did. I think you made me feel seen, and I felt like at least I'm not wasting my time by sharing my story. Okay, so thank you everybody. If you're just watching this or you just joined in, kindly subscribe so that you can see me the next time. So I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Keep your notification bell on. When I go live, you're gonna get notified. So until next time, bye bye. You're welcome. Okay, thank you.